Hi guys. Hello everyone. Hello guys. You know where I am? I am I am connecting directly from Stockholm. I am here in a nice co-working space, just facing the Paradox offices. Where I met some old friends, and I'm here to do because I'm here working. I'm on holiday. I decided to do tea time from here. So welcome everyone. Hello, Terran Effects and Joem 1031. This is a special edition of Tea Time live from Stockholm. The cool thing about this town is that it's 5 o'clock here and everyone's already going home from work. If not, they're already home from work, which is really weird. This co-working space is practically empty right now. I'm kind of, for us Southern Europeans, usually I used to work until kind of late in the evening. Yeah, it's pretty weird, pretty weird. Anyway, hello, Major Alvega. Hey, Yog Dog. I hope you're fine. And so today, what's happening today? Very quickly, I'm going to sort of go through some of the most important announcements you've done this week, making sure that you've got all the news and you are all up to speed with what's happening. First of all, we have recently announced that the last wizard that is going to be included in the Master of Magic Rise of the Soul Trapped DLC. Make sure that you wishlist it now because it's releasing on the 28th of August. It's a Monday. It's a bank holiday. It's the first time we actually release a game on a bank holiday, on a British bank holiday, English bank holiday. So it's going to be interesting to see what's happening. When we set the date, which is the starting date of a major Steam promotion, we didn't realize it was a bank holiday. So it's something that we're going to try and fix as we go. But with whoever is not on a bank holiday on that day. So Master of Magic Rise of the Soul Trap is releasing on the 28th at the start of the strategy sale on Steam. We have recently announced the last of the 3 wizards that are going to be included in this DLC. Make sure you check it out. It's the wizard is called Grendler Troll, and you wish list the game on Steam if you want to. Game and stream title were wrong, so changed it. Thank you, Yog Dog. That was very kind of you. Well, I don't know what was there, but you can put anything. Is there any news you can share with us on the following topics? Is there any DLC coming out for Armor Brigade? Scourge of War is no longer available from Matrix Source. Will it come back? Are there any plans for a remake update for Warplan Orange Dreadnoughts in the Pacific and War in the Pacific Admiral's Edition title? Thanks, Duty Calls. To answer your questions, okay, DLCs for Armored Brigade. No major DLC for Armored Brigade planned, but we have a major Armored Brigade announcement coming up in September. So stick with us. We'll be giving more news about Armored Brigade as we approach. I think it's going to be there's going to be a major event about war games. So a lot of the questions you're asking are going to find an answer during that event. But for the moment, I can tell you that there's no plan for a DLC for Armor Brigade. Scourge of War is no longer available on the Matrix Store. You're right. Scourge of War rights have expired for Matrix, and Norb has decided to take it off sale, and he is planning some cool things about the Scourge of War series. We are not able to tell you more about it now, but right now the main issue was that basically, there was no real ongoing support for the series. So, as we progress and technology progresses, because the developer didn't have the chance to sort of upgrade it and update the game, decided to pull it, and so that we don't have to sort of look into many customer support issues. Remakes for Warplan Orange and War in the Pacific, no plans for that. We have there's some news about games set in the Pacific coming very soon, but not a remake for Warplan Orange or War in the Pacific for the moment. But thanks for the questions. I mean, there a lot of the wargaming questions are very important to us because they understand. We tend to understand what's happening and what you guys are looking for in that respect. Any chance to meet you guys at Gamescom? We are at Gamescom, Tracer. So if you reach out to us, we can definitely set up meetings. We'll be there on the Tuesday until the Friday. So make sure you connect, and we'll make sure that we meet there. I look forward to Gamescom this year. Of course, we're going to do tea time there, but we're looking forward to a show. There'll be a lot of announcements, not from us, but a lot of announcements from the industry. So we look forward to see what is happening there. I'll be there for B2B partners. That's something that we definitely can arrange. Tomorrow or today is Black Cat Appreciation Day. Do you have cats out there? We are taking the opportunity to celebrate the cat, the familiar cat in Master of Magic. So if you've got cats, then like us on Twitter. There it is. Your friend the cat is the familiar of the black magic in Master of Magic. So that's why he's got a pretty angry face there. Oh yes, Filigree Kingdoms. I thought this is interesting. Ivan, the 2D illustrator of Filigree Kingdoms, has put together a nice background image sketch for in the Kingdom style. You can see all our format hosts there. There's myself and a nice Slitherine branded desk, and Nikki directing us with a very old camera there, not connected to anything. So who knows if it works or not. And Julia there as well, doing the newsroom show as well. So who knows what the angel up there is? And it's probably an angel shedding some, bringing some good luck to our releases there. Can you share any news related to Broken Arrow? Tracer, yes, we have news. Well, the big thing I can tell you about Broken Arrow is that we have a big video coming very soon, probably before the end of the month. The video will be showcasing some features that you are looking forward to. It's going to be an interesting video that's going to be both showcasing some of the most recent updates on UI and UX. So hope you check it out when it's releasing. We're probably going to release it before the end of the month. We're working on it. There's a lot of back and forth about it, so make sure that you connect. There's not much else I can say. Really, what we're saying about Broken Arrow is we're working hard on preparing this multiplayer open beta. The idea of the open beta for Broken Arrow is that we are going to try and test the multiplayer system and make sure that this works before release. And if that works well, or whatever it's going to bring us, it's going to tell us how long there will be between that beta and the actual launch of the game. The server testing, that's exactly what I'm saying. The server testing is right now we're looking at small groups, but the idea is that we're going to try and expand to an open beta as soon as we can to test and to stress test the game and see, because it's really the first time we're doing such a big multiplayer game, and we want to make sure that this works well as well. No, you didn't miss any news. Well, not that nothing that you're not aware of, I would say, considering that you're streaming and doing a lot of news for us all the time, so you kind of know everything that's happening. Major Vega, little known fact, medieval cameras were already 320p full color. I thought it was 720p. I don't know. That has to be checked in book history books. You know that today we've announced Starship Troopers, the new DLC. I'm very proud about it. We've been working with Artistocrats for quite a long time in putting together nice materials for this. So the very first paid for DLC will be out on Steam this fall. Exactly when, we don't know. That means that we're still looking at understanding what release date will be. But we have released a lot of information about it. There's a nice trailer that I'll show you when Tea Time Today is finished. There's nice screenshots as well, and there's a full product page which highlights a lot of the new features and units. The new units we've included in the game, there's quite a lot of new units. There's new units both from the whole thing is set in this planet, volcanic planet called Gehenna. So there's a space station orbiting around Gehenna, and around the space station serves as a refueling station. And so there's a lot of extraction going on the planet, and so there's the planet is really a mining planet that is used for extraction and resources. So the Federation has a lot of interest in keeping the planet alive and of course defending the planet from arachnid aggression. So you'll find both units coming for the planet, mostly mercenaries. You've got everything, of course, on this DLC revolves around fire and firing units. There's new arachnids as well. There's like ones flying and basically acting as bombs, diving and exploding into the FedNet, into the Federation armies. There's also a lot of flamethrowers, and of course you'll see a lot of these units happening, being present on screen, and it's all about flashy firing units as well. Starship Troopers Terran Command Raising Hell is going to release this fall, and if you've got any question about this new DLC, you might want to check out the product page. There's a full list of the units. I could go down now, but there's quite a lot of interesting facts about these units, the new weaponry system, and all the new features that are included in this DLC. So make sure to check it out. There's also nice screenshots and a nice trailer that I'll show you when we're done with Tea Time today in about 15 minutes. It's the first time we release a Starship Troopers DLC. The idea here is that DLCs are going to be an addition to the storyline. So imagine, a lot more of what you've already been used to play with the Starship Troopers, the main game. So narrative-driven campaign with lots of action going on. And if you're looking for other game modes like skirmish mode and so on, just stay tuned. There's going to be news about that coming soon. But this new DLC is very much about a new story, and make sure that you check it out on Steam. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Arachnid units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new units coming from the good guys side. If you think the good guys are the Federation. Is this the Terminator game, Alexa? No. That's Starship Troopers. Terminator game. What can I say? We have a release date that's approaching. We're most definitely going to release the game this side of Christmas. So before the end of the year, there's a lot happening on development of Terminator right now. We're finishing up a lot of the missions that are part of the narrative-driven campaign. And if you didn't subscribe to the beta, do it now, because there will be a beta starting like really soon. So at the moment we're targeting the next few days to release the beta. So make sure you're subscribing to slitherine.com/beta feed, and if you're there, then make sure you leave us your name and your computer specs, and if everything goes well, you'll be picked up for the first round of beta. If not, then it's going to be second or third, whatever. That's for sure. More news, I have to say. As I said, we're going to be in Gamescom next week. We'll have the whole a lot of people from the marketing team are going to be there. Going to, of course, comment with you next week on tea time what is happening on at the show, the new announcements and things. We have the first showcase of Headquarters World War II to press and media. With there's quite a lot of new stuff being showcased at the show as well. And we're, of course, meeting with all our partners in press and such. So I'll let you know what's happening from Gamescom. On top of it, we have Stargate news as well. So Stargate, where we are rallying to beta right now. The first few missions, scenarios of the game are almost finished, which means that approaching release date. The idea is that we'll game before in the middle of this autumn. We have potentially release date window of October, November right now. Potentially October. We'll see how things are panning out. Thanks for the key art to Miki on the fly. We have so these are going to be the main releases for main key releases for Slitherine are going to start and Terminator before the end of the year. Don't expect Broken Arrow's release this side of Christmas, of course, because we've got still test the multiplayer system, and I want to make sure that works well before we actually release the game. So that's an important part of the goal really we have is to make sure that works well. Also, we are planning a big wargaming event or war games event in September with about I think 7 different announcements. Right now, I can't really tell you more about it, but there's a lot of new wargaming stuff happening. So if you want to know more about the future of Command and Flash campaigns and many of the other currently active wargaming franchises, stick with us. And there will be a new strategic command. There's no strategic command Napoleonic, but there's a new strategic command DLC, as you know, being announced and actively promoted right now, called Empires in Turmoil. It's a World War I DLC for the moment, and the strategic command team are working on what's happening in the future as well. So there's going to be more announcements on that franchise in the near future, but no Napoleonic for the moment. Other big things happening on the wargaming side. There's two new game announcements. We've got there's so much in development. The idea here is that we sort of use this wargaming week we're organizing for in September to sort of give a bit more visibility to the hardcore war games, and also make sure that outside of the strategy game, also more lighter strategy gaming, I would say, there's a lot of visibility for these games as well. So it's not only going to be about like existing franchises, but also giving you an idea of what's happening in the next 6 to 9 months in our wargaming catalog as well. So as we say, so the Matrix games type of content, as opposed to more like Slitherine or lighter strategy games on the other side. Also, make sure that you check out. We have recently announced that there's new Battle Sector DLC coming out. It's going to be the Demons of Corn. We have the DLC is releasing on all platforms on the 24th, so it's not too far away. It's just next week, and we have, of course, it's releasing on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Make sure you check it out. I think that one of the core things to say about this is, as you know, Battle Sector already had a demonic incursion mode where you can actually see some demons, but you were not able to play the demons. So this new DLC allows you to use the demons in all different game modes. Plus, it introduces a Demon Prince unit, which is the biggest part addition to this DLC. There's an entirely new demonic map that you can play in all modes. That's the one that's being showed right now, and we are going to be seeing a lot more of these sort of small size DLCs coming for Battle Sector. I think that what we're trying to achieve here is sort of give more options to play more of the favorite factions. So after Orcs, which was like the most requested faction, if you've got an idea of, I'd really like to play this faction and so on, just join the Discord and make sure you drop our your requested factions in the Discord, because we're sort of listening and we're sort of ranking things. What do we do next? And that's important. Is there a price for the DLC? I guess for the Demons DLC? We've announced it, but it's going to be $4.99. Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum, please. Yes, that's one we're looking into as well. Well, there's in terms of the factions, there's two levels of or sort of three important things to say. There's one, the fact that of all the factions that we've released, we haven't released all the units in these factions. So imagine, how many different Orc units or Necron units we could release on top of what we have already released so far. So that's one thing. On the other hand, we've got, of course, different Space Marine chapters that are, of course, part of the Warhammer 40,000 world, Ultramarines and whatnot. That's also another level of faction, sort of you could actually think of. And then there's like all new factions, like your as you say, Imperial Guards or some of the other existing factions. So there's quite a lot of different levels of DLCs that we could come up with, and I'm looking forward to see what your views are. My how I see it is really that we should focus on new factions, but also introducing units that are fan favorites. And by introducing units, I mean adding more, like we've done for Blood Angels, for instance, where we had like the elite units DLC. More of these where we can, some of these can come free, some of these can come for as paid for content, but coming up with, hey, this big unit is missing, why don't you add it? That's kind of the contribution I'm really hoping that you guys can give us, because it's really part of the of the Warhammer world we're trying to build with Battle Sector, having something that's comprehensive of all the different bits and pieces that you can have to create your own army and go to the battlefield with all your favorite units, and make sure that that reflects into the game as well. So as I say, again, listening to your comments would be our big goal there. One other important thing to say, of course, we've got Battle Sector. There's, of course, Gladius as well. We're planning to release more content in Gladius before the end of the year too. You could think that some of that, most of the factions have been released for Gladius, but it's not everything. So there's also stuff that can be done on Gladius as well. So we look forward to telling you what's happening on that side of things. I think 40K is going through this phase, especially for battle sector now. It's going through this phase where, you know, I think we've got like the number of 40K players across around the world is growing, and we want to make sure that we sort of give, um, you know, all the new fans an idea of, a good comprehensive set of choices. And for Gladius, Gladius is the most successful 40K game we've done, and the one with the most number of players. So we want to make sure, of course, that also that's getting some love. And imagine, it's been released a few years ago now, and this year is the most the most important one in terms of new players, in terms of number of overall players that are playing Gladius. So there's a lot of new people seeing the game and willing to play with new content as well. So stay tuned on that as well, and make sure you follow the channel and see what's happening. I honestly don't have a stream schedule right now with me, so I can't really tell you what's happening later and in the next few days. As I said, I'm traveling, and I really wanted to sort of be at tea time today and make sure that I stay in touch with you guys. So check out the stream schedule on the Twitch channel in the coming days, and make sure that you're connected. Next week again, I'll be doing tea time from Gamescom. I don't know if I'll be alone or somebody will join me, but I'll definitely be in Köln with maybe half drunk for all the beers that are flying around at the show. And hopefully you're going to see some of the show as well. I mean, when we did game developer conference, thank you, Mickey. When I did a game developer conference in San Francisco, I was outside. It was very early in the morning, so the doors weren't open. But this time on Thursday at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock UK time, I hope that I'll be able to show you some of the grounds, take you in the business area, and also sort of show you what the show is like. It's a potentially interesting opportunity for you guys to see what a show like Gamescom is. It's pretty exciting, and it's also a way for us to take you behind the closed doors of the show, and hopefully showing you some cool things as well. There's a lot of our friends at the show, so there will be a lot of opportunities for you guys to see what is happening there. I want to watch more Warring East 2. Why not? I mean, we have a full Monday dedicated to war games, so we listen. So we'll make sure that we feature more Warring East in the future. We've done quite a lot in the past, but definitely looking forward to seeing more. And the Warhammer 40K Armageddon in 40 would be nice for 40K fans. Yuri, I don't think it's gonna happen, to be honest. I mean, again, the scale and the type of game Armageddon was and is sort of doesn't really lead us to think that it's going to be a big enough game to compete out there and to appeal to the 40K audience, especially now the 40K audience is kind of detached from war game traditions, and it's more like a new, fresh audience that's looking for a different type of game. That's probably what we're sort of thinking around that. So I don't expect to see a more like hex-based war type of war game coming for 40K in the next months or years. I may be wrong. Whatever can happen, I guess. I strongly disagree. It's kind of market research and trying to sort of understand what a game like this could do is not easy. And I understand, that there's a desire for these type of games in certain level of the market, but I also think that there's developing these games, is increasingly expensive, and so you need to be very careful in sort of how many people would potentially play that game, and that's something that is up for discussion, of course, but that's something that we're sort of looking into as well. I really love Warhammer Battle Six, but me and my friends are unable to play online. Is this a known problem? Just want to let you know. No, I don't think it's a known problem never ever face. It's definitely something for customer support because the game is supposed to actually play online. So yeah, reach out to customer support at slitherine.co.uk. I think it's definitely something that we might want to hear what's happening there. Right, so guys, I'll see you next week from Gamescom, from Germany. I will leave you with a trailer of Starship Troopers Terran Command Raising Hell, and I'll make sure that you connect next week, and I'll see you from the grounds at the show. Bye bye.
A different world, a familiar enemy. Once again, the mobile infantry is tasked to defend humanity against arachnid aggression. The volcanic regions of Gehenna are among the toughest of battlegrounds, and rare new breeds of bugs are emerging from the flames. But the Federation is prepared to fight fire with firepower. Time to raise hell.